Debuting back in 2018 and launching the incredibly underwhelming run of Sony-led Marvel villain solo movies, the first Venom took the world by storm. Though expectations were admittedly low, it had talent in front of and behind the camera. Review scores might have been low, but box office numbers certainly were not, with the movie scoring a massive $856 million off of a budget of about $100 million. With those numbers, sequels were guaranteed. Now, 6 years later, we have reached the end of the road, as Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock will share his last dance with the alien symbiote Venom. Did they deliver with this finale? Let's find out. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, I have a brand new ranking for you all. And I am going to be ranking the 3 Venom movies. Before I hop into the actual ranking itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my ranking videos. There are well over 100 videos in that playlist for you to enjoy, so if rankings are your thing, then be sure to check that out and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And if by some chance you don't, then feel free to suggest something you might like. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. Coming in at number 3 of 3 is Venom: The Last Dance. Yeah, so to answer my own question from the introduction, no, they did not deliver with this finale. Well, I can't say that necessarily. They delivered exactly what we expected with this finale, which is just more of the same. Fun action set pieces, decent visuals, an incoherent, messy story, useless subplots, and a beautiful bromance that ties it all together. Yes, without a doubt, Eddie and Venom's relationship is still the glue that holds it all together, and in the eyes of many, the only reason to really watch these movies. Despite it being some of Hardy's most generic work, and the fact that he's talking to a goopy, liquidy CGI alien monster thing, there's something so authentic, charming, and most of all, endearing about it. You almost can't help but love and root for them. Yes, the Venom horse and shit like that is entertaining. Really, most of the movie is goofy and campy. It's really at its best when it doesn't take itself too seriously, which means there are times when it does take itself a little too seriously. Again, the plot is just, yeah, and the subplots and side characters are, yeah. Also, don't get too excited about Null because, yeah. Essentially, if you enjoyed the first 2 and you are expecting more of the same, you'll most likely have a good enough time with this. If you weren't a fan, don't bother. This won't win you over. If you were expecting them to elevate their game by dialing up the stakes, honing in on the emotional core, and gifting us the best one yet, a genuinely epic finale, then manage your expectations. Claiming that second place spot is the first Venom from 2018. The first Venom, simpler times, when Sony hit the jackpot and thought they had what it took to be the next MCU or Star Wars universe or whatever, before they would go on to deliver the likes of Morbius and Madam Web. If you don't recall, there was actually a fair bit of hype behind this first Venom movie. I mean, Venom is a hugely popular character. Not only is he arguably the most popular Spider-Man villain, but one of the most popular Marvel villains overall. Actually, now that I think of it, he's probably among the more well-known villains in general. When reviews dropped, it was a little worrisome, I'll admit. But it didn't deter me or anyone else, it seems. As I've already said, this movie nearly cracked $1 billion, despite rocking abysmal review scores of 35 on Metacritic and 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, as for the movie itself, it's enjoyable and entertaining enough. Like I just said with The Last Dance, the Eddie-Venom dynamic is by far the best part. Some of the action bits are solid, especially the sequence where Venom squares off with the SWAT team. Then you have the rest of the movie. The story is generic, but not offensively bad or anything. The bad alien symbiote wants to bring more bad alien symbiotes to Earth for world domination. Cool, yeah, whatever. It works. The supporting cast is fine. Michelle Williams herself does a good enough job, but the She-Venom thing is strange, to say the least. It got some chuckles out of me, although to this very day I wish they went R-rated. It would have been so much cooler when watching Venom bite the bad guys' heads off, or Riot, the movie's villain, had axes for hands and was swiping through people. I get why they didn't do it. They wanted to make a bunch of money, and R-rated superhero movies weren't really that proven at the time, and Hardy said he wanted to make something for his kids, but yeah, a guy can dream. Speaking of the villain Riot, he's played by the superb Riz Ahmed. Unfortunately, it's undeniably his worst role. Well, at least what I feel is his worst role based on the movies of his I've seen. Riot is a painfully dull villain. Like I already said, extremely generic villain plan, basic bad guy dialogue, and so on. And don't get me started on the final fight either. Like I already said, there are exciting moments in here, but this finale is ass. It's mindless, awkward-looking liquid simulations smashing into each other. Sounds like I'm ragging on this one a lot, and that's because it's got a ton of issues. But I've still watched it a good few times because it gives me that schlocky, trashy, late 90s, early 2000s superhero movie feeling, which has always been a favorite warm and cozy one of mine. And number one is the first sequel, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Look, some people are probably choking on their food or spitting out their drinks laughing at me here. I feel like a lot of people are going to have Let There Be Carnage in last, but not me. To put it as plainly and simply as I possibly can, this movie has the exact same issues as the first and third movies. But it has the added benefit of Woody Harrelson as Carnage, an iconic actor and a villain that is almost every bit as popular as Venom, and the definition of breakneck pacing. The movie has the shortest runtime of the three, clocking in at an hour and 37 minutes all in. Without credits and the end credits scenes, it's around, or maybe even less than, an hour and a half. One reviewer from Collider called it the breeziest superhero movie ever made, and he wasn't wrong. To me, it worked in the movie's favor. No fluff, no unnecessary BS, just straightforward and to the point. Yes, at times they do cut some corners they probably shouldn't have, and yes, they definitely could have added a bit more, where it can at times feel a little rushed. But it was enough for me. There's some mildly interesting detective stuff, you also have Naomi Harris as Shriek, and some kick-ass action. Carnage escaping the prison, the final fight which is marginally improved upon from the original, and some other smaller skirmishes kept me consistently entertained. Of course, you then have the cherries on top that are the Eddie and Venom relationship, which, once again, is the best part, and Woody Harrelson just really hamming it up in a goofy-ass wig. They just perfected the formula to the best of their abilities here, or at least to the best these movies could have been or could get, apparently. Fast-paced, over-the-top, funny, and nonsensical. I've always enjoyed this one the most, even if I do feel like they should have called it Maximum Carnage. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree with my ranking. While you're at it, don't forget to let me know how you would rank the Venom movies. And what did you think of Venom: The Last Dance? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you happy the Venom movies are over and done with? Or do you want to see Hardy return for another one or some other appearance? Comment below and let me know. As a reminder, this is the revamped BAM 2 movies, and it is your one-stop for everything movies. Be it rankings like this one, video essays, top 10s versus videos, tier list videos, I have it all and so much more, along with your daily nerdy news wrap-ups, where I catch you up on all the movie, gaming, and TV news you missed. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that little bell icon so you don't miss a thing. As always, folks, I thank you all so very much for watching. Stay happy, healthy, and safe out there. From myself and the rest of the BAMTube team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, and that's a wrap.